And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, I'm Tom Vasel. Today we're taking a look at Smash Up Big in Japan. I've given up even counting what expansion each of these is, but Smash Up Big in Japan adds 4 new factions and adds 2 new mechanisms that have yet to be seen in Smash Up. Oh, really cool, really big, kind of, sort of. Anyway, I'm assuming you already know how to play Smash Up. If you're watching this video, let's take a look at what this adds. Okay, the first faction we're going to look at is Magical Girls. So in Magical Girls, there is a lot of different cards. I think the idea here is sort of like a teamwork type thing. They all work together. That's the theme here. So like you have White Magical, she lets you search and get the power made in your hand, who also can basically pick a power less than or equal to the number of minions here and move it to here from there. Black Magical can bring the Lunar Captain into play, where she chooses a minion in your discard pile and put it in your hand. Rainbow Girl gives the other minions +1 power. Fancy Suit Lad means your other minions aren't affected by players' cards. Bewitching Girl reduces the breakpoint by the number of minions. Again, you can see this whole idea of they're working together. Here, destroy a minion you don't control with power less than equal to the number of minions there. That's Technomagical Lass. And Sakura Warrior, reduce the minion's power by the number of minions here until the start of your turn. Put a minion from your discard pile in your hand. Choose a minion in each player's discard pile and put it in its owner's hand. Everyone shuffles their minions in their discard pile. So it's all about minions. Destroy a minion you don't control. This gives a minion +1 power when they go to discard pile. Put it on the top of your deck instead. Move one of your minions to another base. And choose a card, destroy an action on it, or remove all counters from it. And then finally, the last card here is play either an extra minion or Walking Castle. Walking Castle, well, Magical Girls, this is the divider card for it, but on the other side, vroom, it turns into what is called a Titan. That's the new ability of this set, are Titans. Now, a Titan can go to a base. You can put a Titan on a base when the Titan says it can, or when a card does. So, for example, this is play an extra action or Walking Castle. So I can play Walking Castle at a base. You can also play a Titan when it says so on the card. So for example here it says instead of your regular minion play, you may play this card in a base where you have at least 2 minions. So as long as I have 2 minions, and this is the faction that's going to have lots of minions, I can play this. And this Walking Castle doesn't add any power. It's not affected by cards that affect actions or minions. And my minions here can't be destroyed by other player's ability. And I can move this Titan and 3 of my minions to another base. So it's kind of like a carrier for my minions, and I can walk around on it. Now, if another Titan comes to the same location, they're going to have a battle. So when 2 Titans fight each other, basically you add up your power of your other creatures, and the other Titan is destroyed. It comes off the board. That's how you get rid of a Titan. The next faction is Itty Creatures, which is also very popular from the phone app, Itty Creatures Go. But in this, you have a bunch of small creatures. There are lots of 2s, Leafaroo, Calicoin. You know, nothing fantastic here. They do a bunch of different things. Destroy another minion of power 2 or less. And they're all fun little minions here. This one lets you draw a card. But you also have several critter coaches in your deck, which are 4 power on their own. They can summon a minion of power 2 or less, and you have a lot of 2s in there. It's kind of fun to use the critter coach with zombies too. But anyway, and you play it as an extra minion, and then you stick it on the bottom of your deck. Critter Champion does a very similar thing. I guess she is better than the Critter Coach. Then I Select You. This lets you search your deck for a minion of power 3 or less. Stick it on the bottom of your deck. Shuffle one of each minion with a different name from your discard pile into your deck, which could be pretty powerful and useful. Recall a creature, bring it back. So this one's all about manipulating creatures, or here giving your creatures +1. Choose one of your minions, destroy a minion with lower power at its base. Minion versus minion, Critter Cube, super effective, destroy an action on a minion or a base. Or choose one of your minions, destroy it to play Rainbow Rock there. And Rainbow Rock is the Titan of these creatures here. And whenever you win a base, you can bring Rain Brock into play on the new base that replaces it. And this here, it says, this gets a power counter. Now, in this, since this is not a minion, power counters can count towards controlling a base. So this says the first time you play a minion air power 2 or less, you put a power counter on this thing. So Rain Brock can get more and more powerful. Also, you can shuffle minion with power 2 or less from your discard pile on your deck, so Rain Brock can keep bringing back minions. Again, I know this is made for the Pokemon ripoff kind of thing that these cards are, but it also kind of works pretty well with zombies. And now we have Mega Troopers. Go, go, Mega Troopers. This one, before the base scores, they get +1 till the end of the turn. And that's not a bad thing to have. But then we have the Green Trooper, who can come out as an extra minion. The Pink Trooper, who has a giant bunny. Doesn't seem very useful. This guy's a giant panda, though. That's awesome. Eric Lang would like that. This guy gets +1 anytime someone uses a special ability. This guy can move another minion, call one there. This guy gets +2 before a base scores. This guy lets you play Megabot. Woo! Megabot. So Megabot here can be also summoned anytime you have 3 minions on a base. So you're going to want to get... I found that these guys might mix well with the robot faction, because you can get a lot of robots on the board, and then they'll bring out Megabot, which kind of is thematic. This guy gets +1 power for each minion there, and he can move this to a base right before it scores. Get there in time. He also comes with a blitzing sword attack, which again, you have to remember you only use when there's no other resort. Before a base scores when you have a Titan, if you're not winning there, destroy a minion there for power less. He's just whooping. Here, I can move Megabot to a base where I have at least 2 minions. Then there's other stuff. Give my minions +3 power because they're running around in just a cowboy hat. Now they have a suit. Destroy an action on a base or a minion. When a base scores and you're the winner, draw 2 cards. I wish there was more of these. I wish there was more cards that when a base scores and you're the winner, you get something. So more stuff, Lightning Rescue, and plan for more, draw the top 3 cards. So Megabot is pretty cool with the power rank. With the Mega Troopers. And finally, we have the Kaiju. Forget this, we're just going to show him right away. Gorgodzilla, he is the original best Titan. Instead of my regular minion play, I can just put him on a base where I have 2 or more actions. When you play an action, you put a +1 power counter on this card. So that's pretty neat. Action or a minion, so he's going to get very powerful. And when you play an action on this base, you can draw a card. This guy is great. So choose an action that can be played in a base, put in your hand, play 2 extra actions, reduce the breakpoint of all bases. I like this Kaiju Alliance, the robot and Godzilla shaking hands. Sure. Move a Titan to another base. You can move him around. If he's in play, just blow up a base. There goes Tokyo. Game comes with Tokyo, so you can do that if you want. And move him to another base. This guy, he can reduce a breaking point by 3. Now, this is interesting. This is an action, but it adds 2 power to a base. So even if you're not there. So there's not many minions in this deck. However, it's as if these other cards, these actions, you can place them where, oh no, or the Folly of Men, or Tail Smash show. These can even show up before Gorgodzilla shows. Just as Tails there, adding 4 power to a base when it also destroys a minion. Destroy everyone else's actions there. Gives them +3, wade through buildings. And then he does have a few minions. Kajuki, this little guy. Johnny, who you can return one of your actions on a base to your hand and play it here as an extra action. He calls Johnny, and Johnny's like, what? Tail Smash. Bring it in. And then finally, the tiny priestesses who can play or move Godzilla to here. So they can kind of summon him in. So this is kind of a... this one, the Titans are a new thing to this set, but this is the one faction which is all about Titans. I've always liked these divider cards that the game comes with, right? They're really neat. The fact that they're now giant creatures is great. Okay, here's the biggest problem with these giant creatures. I've had to ban people from taking more than one of them. I can't say, all right, everybody gets a giant creature. Now, I can sense that maybe, hopefully, they'll retroactively add these to other groups, because it'd be great to see a giant dinosaur and a giant Russian riding a bear. I don't even know what that would look like, but that'd be awesome, right? But these are just fun. They're neat. It's like, well, here's Gorgodzilla and here's Megabot. And if you give someone both of them, yeah, they're beatable, right? They're not so destructible that these factions can't be beat. No, Smash Up's pretty balanced, and these factions are just as balanced. In fact, without these Titans, I think these factions might even be a little bit boring. They're okay. I mean, they have there's always some kind of theme, although the Gorgonzola one needs the Titan. It's all about the Titan, and the Power Rangers is one and is kind of like that too. But the Pokemon one is pretty cool, pulling up different minions of different types, and I'm calling them by what they actually are. The princess one, the fighting girls, the cute girls, whatever they are. They have that team power going, but they're neat. And then they have a Titan, which is really cool. So I like this one a lot. This is certainly one of my favorite expansions because of the Titans, because adding this stuff is a lot of fun. I think you're going to enjoy it. Again, the biggest negative is you're going to be like, ooh, wow, this is really cool. What's the Titan for this faction? Oh, they don't have one. But still, these do fit seamlessly in with everything else. And yes, Gorgonzola is powerful, but a bunch of ninja ghosts can take him down. And that's a lot of fun to see that sort of thing and play with those. So a fun expansion, add something neat. I like it a lot. That's big in Japan. Dice Tower Judgment, Gorgonzola Smash, excellent.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door.